Alright guys, as you guys can tell, I'm accessorizing the RZR 200 and getting it ready for the season, for camping and having fun with my girl. So, right now I'm replacing the shifter, and all the other products are pretty much self-explanatory how to bolt on. It's not that hard, but the shifter, you do have to do a little bit of work. You actually gotta take the shifter off, and let me show you here. You got two cables, and you gotta pretty much take off the whole thing. So there's a 13mm bolt, or excuse me, it's a 12mm bolt and nut holding everything together with a spring in the middle. You undo that, then you get to this guy, and it's just pretty much a Phillips screw, and you can replace the shaft with the new geyser shaft. So yeah, not that bad. Let's do it. All right guys, I quickly want to just say that I absolutely hate Allen's. Burn in hell! I dealt with Allen's on all of this hardware. It's a pain in the freaking ass. I just don't like Allen's, man. Just give me some goddamn Phillips, honestly. They strip out too easy. The size is never correct. Even if it's standard or metric, I can never find the right size. I went to go buy new Allen wrenches just to make sure it wasn't my Allen wrenches, and it's not. They just fit loose, and they freaking suck. I hate that. So the hardware that you get, not my favorite, but it's not that bad of an install. Put this guy back on like that. This will go here. See that? Springs on there, and this guy goes over the top. And then like this.
Five minutes later.
Ow! Bastard! Alright, that's there. This guy. Alright boys, so working on the shifter. I'm not sure if I gotta shave the detents on the regular shifter gate because they don't exactly line up. You see that? Now the back reverse will work. Drive forward gear works fine. Let me just tell you guys this. Go buy yourself some regular coarse screws, because F those goddamn Allens. Look what it made me do. These freaking little Allen screws, man. I freaking almost lost my mind trying to put these things in. Don't mind if I do. I should just film that. Probably would have been funnier. But fuck these things. Alright, well it looks good. Now I gotta move on to wiring. We got an aux beam 8 switch. So I had this set up originally for another machine, but I didn't use it, and now we have, you know, some stickers on there that probably don't really, you know, work for this situation. But we got amber, rear, whip, interior lights. That's gonna change. On this machine we have a 30-inch S8. It is not dual control, so you can't turn these on independently, but we'll just turn them all at once. It's not a big deal. The kids don't really care about that. But we got amber, white, amber. We are gonna have a set of pods here, also amber S1 pods. We are gonna have whips. I decided to get rid of the chase light, no chase light, because the cage didn't really have room for it, and I don't really care anymore. The kids are not gonna be night riding. The whips will be plenty of light, pink light, for people to see in the dark, as well as it's not like we're, you know, driving the kids around in a bad situation, bad area where they're gonna get hurt. It's mainly where we're in open camp, like in El Mirage, when there's no one around you for easily half a mile. So that's gonna work out perfectly for the kids. So light bar in the front, pods at the A-pillar, no mirrors on this machine. Nick from Triple Carver gave me a set, but we ended up using them on CJ's car, because on this car they wouldn't work because the nets go all the way to the A-pillar, and when they were swinging out they would hit the mirror, so that doesn't work for that. I got 4 rock lights on this machine, as well as, well, there's a freaking stereo system for this machine somewhere in the garage, but I'm having second thoughts of installing it only because of the issues with the battery. So if you guys don't know, these machines have one single battery right here, and it's not very big for one. And also obviously the charging system is not very strong on this machine, so also it's probably a distraction for the kids. Like, my kids are still learning how to drive this thing, and maybe it's not the greatest idea to put this on the machine. We'll open the box in the future as far as that, you know, audio system that I'm talking about. It's made by UTV Stereo, and well, the wife was saying she wanted something for the car, so maybe we'll put it on hers. But then again, it's only 2 speakers and no sub, so we're still figuring out how we're gonna do this, but maybe we should just throw it in here. I have no idea. First, I'm gonna focus on the wiring as far as the lighting goes, because I want the kids to be able to have light at night, so they're visible, and it's a safety thing for me. So dome light, 4 rock lights, 2 whips, 30-inch S1s, and honestly that's got to be it, right? This thing's accessorized to the moon already. We've showed you guys in the past the geyser skid plates on the side, or not skid plates, seal plates, I guess you could call them. Geyser number plates for the back here, the little winglets. I just installed this geyser rear trim panel. It looks really nice. Also, it's kind of a safety thing because kids can't stick their hand over there. Although they can't stick their hand down here. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say it's only for safety, but it does help. You know, kids shouldn't be sticking their hands over there, especially when they're like maybe resting against the machine. Maybe one of the kids turns it on. It's actually pretty cool to have this. So in the front, kind of a matching theme, we have the new geyser grill, and we have the new bumper that we just installed as well with the geyser skid plate. All that looks really good, and hopefully it'll you know, protect something in the future if something happens. I did freaking scratch the goddamn wrap, and that's what it's for. No big deal. So we'll start running some wires as far as the 187 rock lights that we have right here. I already had these mounted. I mounted them a long time ago, so 4 of them. We'll find a central location, probably over here honestly, to wire them all together to the module, and then we'll actually have to start drilling some holes for the S8. Oh, god damn, this never ends. So there's another one right here. Look at this, is missing too. A freaking Zeus fitting. Anyways, we'll have to drill some holes for the whips as well. These are gonna be hypers, so nothing special. No 187, no RGB. They're gonna be either pink or white, depending on the mood for the kids. So we're gonna have to drill some holes, possibly in this tube. Have the wires run through here and through the plastic, and that'll hopefully be enough. So nothing crazy on that. I'm also gonna have to run a hole somewhere in here and maybe transfer it this way, right? And then again here for this dome light. So I want the kids to be able to have light at night. Just safety thing again, so the kids can see what they're doing. They can stop, whatever. Or maybe if the wife's driving them around, they can stop. You know, the wife drops her phone or something, which she shouldn't, because we got new bags. These are PRP RZR 200 bags made for the RZR 200 doors. They are awesome. And well, I just installed those as well. The only thing I did notice is that they kind of hit here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm about to zip tie these to make sure they're all the way to the back, so they don't have that issue. So we'll probably put a zip tie here somewhere, just to make sure the bags don't rub. And overall, this machine's looking goddamn good. I spent a lot of time on the wife's machine on Big Blue, and the season is already upon us. We should be riding already, but I didn't get all this stuff dialed in, so I don't have to deal with any of it during the season, as well as I got a lot of guys asking me for work, like that black one right there. We just put billet front knuckles on him. Let me show you, it looks freaking sick. Fresh Tatum billet knuckles with Keller ball joints to pair with these HDR arms. I didn't install the arms, they were already on there, but as you can see, those Tatum knuckles are freaking sexy. Same ones that I have on my machine, except for mine, they were anodized black. Special request by me. Normally they always come raw aluminum, which looks freaking awesome. I kind of wish I actually did them like that. It looks a little bit cleaner. But all right, we'll get into the wiring. I'll pretty much just do all the wiring and then just show you guys after where I ran everything, how I ran everything, and then how everything's controlled, where I put the module for the aux beam. We'll go over all that as soon as I'm done, which is gonna be in about 2 YouTube seconds. Oh look, my hand's black. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show you guys how I routed all the wires for all these lights. I finally got it done on this Saturday night, and basically pretty simple. So in the front and in the rear, we have a rock light on each corner. There's one of the 187 rock lights, so it has 10-foot extensions that run to a module. The module is right here. So the extensions for the rock lights actually doesn't have extensions up here. It goes from the rock light directly to a splitter, and then from the splitter to the module. And then we have 2 10-foot extensions that run from the front to the back, one for each rock light. And I'll show you in a second where I run the wires, but basically very simple on the rock light front. Also up front, we did have to pass through to the front here, because there's no way to run the wires from the center dash here to the back through the center. You can't do it anywhere here. Basically underneath that floorboard is basically the frame, and there's like this much gap and there's no way to pass wires. So the best way to pass wires is actually through the side. And so because of that, we have also the S1 pods and the communication wire for the aux beam switch all run through here. Everything's zip tied, following along other pieces of harness wires and all sorts of stuff, and it runs along here. And as you can see here, we have a connection for one of my S1 pods, or the girls S1 pods, sorry girls, and we have extensions from the 5150 rock lights going this way, as well as that wire harness for that aux beam connector. So the only way to do this without having to mess with the center panels and removing the whole freaking floorboards is actually just running it through the side. And it's actually really super easy. You just take out this panel, it's a bunch of these little rivet clips and some Torx, and you can pretty much run the wires all through here. See that? And I finally got this done because we got our boy with a new AC unit in the garage. I can finally work in here without sweating my freaking you know what off.
Hot and sticky like my bull.
And I'm able to work in here and get some of these things done that I've been needing to do, especially for my girls and the white machine too. I know that one's coming soon. So the wires run through here, right? And as you can see, there's a bundle of wire there. We'll get to that in just a second and where that goes, how it goes into the cab. Rock lights, like I said, in the front, excuse me, in the rear are pretty much 10-foot extensions. They run all the way to the front in that same pathway. Now, when they pass down, I gotta make sure they're zip tied carefully to the bar and basically any other wiring that I see to keep it away from any moving parts and any hot parts like the exhaust. So it's fairly simple. You just gotta make sure you mount them in a way that they're not gonna get burned up, basically. So rock lights, we're running the Gen 2 5150s. These are pre-production ones that I've had for quite some time, and I pretty much just bolted them to the frame. Kind of just made my own mount there, but they work great. Same thing on both sides. As far as the lighting for the whips and that front 30-inch bar, SA Baja Designs, all this stuff is through the cage. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This goes from the bar through the roof into the cage, and it travels along here. And I pretty much dump them on the front of the bar, or this cage pillar here. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't go into anything. This pretty much goes into like a tab on the frame. So I pretty much dump them right there. So front to back, and it dumps out right here. Now this is the same exact case for this whip. This whip actually dumps out right here. You can see the hole. The wires run through here, ends up here, and then follows the same pathway as the rock lights to the center. And then yeah, it goes out to the battery location. So on this side, same thing. One whip goes through the tube, and also we have this dome light from 5150 whips. I have a hole here, and then the wire comes out here for this dome light. We'll show you guys the operation in just a second. That goes through here and comes out here, and again runs down the C-pillar, and everything routes down and away from stuff that's gonna melt it. So here is all the bundles of wire right behind the driver's seat. And it all comes out to the aux beam main controller. Check it out. That all goes here. Now, honestly, it's not the best location, but without having to make custom battery cables, this is the only location I was gonna find that was gonna be pretty decent, that wasn't gonna get full of mud. So, not that the kids are going full of mud, but a lot of you guys might do that, and it was the best way. So two main battery cables, power and negative. One negative goes through, it goes back to that harness that was bundled up and zip tied that I show you guys, and it comes back out and it goes into the main controller. And the positive side, the only difference is there's this circuit breaker in between, 60 amps, and that will also go through here and into the aux beam controller. Connections, this is that one data cable I was talking about that we routed along the seal plate, around and into the dash area. And this other one is ignition. So ignition, I pretty much tapped into what looks to be an orange wire on this diagnostic port. I think it's a diagnostic port. I'm not 100%, but I'm thinking that's the diagnostic port, and that's what we did there. So nothing too crazy. I could fit this cover on, I believe. I don't even know, I haven't checked. I got stuck these wires kind of down and in, right? But basically all the connections that I needed were there. And there we go. and I did make sure that that clears the seat. I made sure that clears the seat when the seat's on there. Now, I don't know for a fact if you'll be able to fit a Switch Pros in that same location, or some of the other companies that make Switch systems, like the new Alpha 12 that we have in the white car. I don't think you'll be able to fit in that location. So another area you guys might be able to use is possibly the back wall here. The only thing I was thinking though is the exhaust is right here, and yes, it has heat shields, but it still may work against this wall or up higher. Not 100%. One other thing you could probably do is do it on the edge here where the seat is, but off to the side. Maybe that will work as well. If you guys have installed any of these Switch controllers on the RZR 200 or the RZR 170, chime down below in the comments, help another person out. So anyways, all right, now I'm in the cockpit of the machine. This bezel here was made by my buddy Chris over at Stay Flush Motorsports. He made this. He did actually redesign this so it's a lot slimmer. Doesn't stick out this far, and also I think he changed the design here. We're not sure if this is going to be in the way for the kids. I don't think so, because they barely reach the pedals, so their legs are pretty much straight. But anyways, this is made by Chris at Stay Flush. He has another one in the works. And here's the aux beam. So we'll go ahead and operate this real quick. There's the ignition on. I'm not sure if I can change the backline on this option, but I'll link one in the description down below from my website that is Bluetooth, and you can change the backlighting to like a RGB style, so that'll be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and run through them. We got the light bar here, boom, and that's gonna be this guy, pretty bright. Then we got the little pods, but you know, China special, they call them light cubes, no big deal. Turn those on, those guys are on. They look great. I love the S1 pods. And they look really cool on this machine because they're small, car small. Also, we have the whips. We've got some fuchsia, pinkish, purplish whips for the machine made by 5150. All these parts will be linked down below, by the way, including the door bags, all the geyser products, so you guys can pimp out your RZR 200. And maybe we'll do a full overview video in the future, but for now, I want to show you guys the wiring. Let's continue. We got a rock light button, and that's for each rock light in each corner. We'll show you guys this with the lights off in just a second. And then interior lights, I wish it said dome light, but oh well. Interior lights, there's the 5150 dome light, and the last one is amber. These two are blank, so they don't work. This one here is amber, and it's pretty much just a backlit for the S8. So I'll turn that off and on. So let's do it now with the lights off so you guys can get the full effect. And yeah, I like stickers. Boom. All right, she's dark. And let's light up with the freaking rock lights and the whips. That looks freaking awesome. Oh, we got a little bit of a color discrepancy. Probably put that in pink or white, not green. That's all right. So I can't wait to take this thing out at night with the kids, especially when we're a really open location. Camp's open, not a lot of cars anywhere. Like when we go to Johnson Valley or Al Mirage on an off weekend when there's not a lot of cars, we can see the kids and we can chase them, and it'll be super easy to see where they're going. So dome light in here looks awesome. Plenty of light for the kiddos. Even works, or maybe that might be the whips, but we got some light in here in the cargo too, which works great. And if you're not using the light bar, that looks awesome. Just that look right there. The car looks epic. Let me turn this, let me freaking close this door. Let me close the door and get a freaking thumbnail here. Here. Alright, that's a perfect thumbnail right there. Alright, so last two buttons are gonna be these two fellas. And that's a lot of juice, honestly. But it looks freaking awesome. Yeah, that looks cool. Alright, that looks awesome. I'm really happy the way that turned out. Now, some of you guys are gonna have questions as far as the battery. Currently, we're running a stock battery. Hasn't failed us yet. I have seen some of you guys on the Facebook forums for the RZR 200 talking about an improved battery, improves operation, even engine performance apparently, because the stock battery kind of sucks. I will be looking into replacing the battery. If you guys have any recommendations, link them down below for me. I'd appreciate that. But for the most part, be aware, guys, the more lighting you add, you're gonna have issues as far as power goes, because this machine does not output a lot of amperage wattage for all these accessories. So the bigger the battery, the longer it'll be. As far as the fuel tank wise, it'll be like a bigger fuel tank, but eventually you can't run everything at once, And that's what stopped me from adding an audio system to this thing that we have up here on the shelf. We're actually gonna put that on the white car probably for the wife because she wants audio. The pink car, it wasn't gonna happen. It was just too much power as it is, and maybe we'll just put like a little sound bar on there, not a full-fledged, you know, stereo system. So either way, came out awesome. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I know it took forever to get this done, but she's finally where she needs to be as far as, you know, the looks, the protection, bumpers, the nets, the cage, the safety, the belts, and of course now the lighting. It looks on point. So super happy for the kids, super happy. Thank you guys for watching. As always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget, shop glifeutv.com for all your parts needs. All the parts on this machine you can find on that website. And if you want to support us even more, buy our merchandise. We have the merchandise website, staydirtyclothing.com. We just have 2 new shirts that just came out, the Ride and Dirty with the Pro R in a nice gray shirt, and a black shirt that says Hammer Down with the new Maverick R. So I'm super excited for those. Cop them down below, there's links. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys. Thanks for the support as always. Let's go. I know someone's gonna ask, and that's with the seat installed, bolted in, and there's plenty of room. So just in case you wanted to know, seats back in, nets back in. It's a safe little car for my kids.